Good morning, guys. So last session we completed about the translators, and in the translators we have the compiler, and we have the interpreter, and we have the assembler, and we're done with the JVM architecture. So we learned about in the last session translators. In the translators, what does it mean by compiler, and what does it mean by interpreter? What does it mean by assembler? Okay, and then after that we learned about the JVM architecture. JVM architecture. So JVM architecture and what are the components available inside the JVM architecture. These are the things we learned in the yesterday session. Okay, so today with session we will learn about the identifiers. Identifiers. So what is identifiers generally? So all Java components. I will increase the font size. So identifiers meaning all Java components are required names. All Java components required names. Okay, the names are used for classes, variables, and methods, constructors. Constructors. Okay, so all Java components required names. The names are used for classes, variables, and methods and constructors. Okay, second point, identifier. Whenever you are giving the identifier, so identifier must follow some rules. Must follow some rules. Some rules. What are the rules? So first rule number one. Rule number one. Rule number one. It allow. It will allow characters. It will allow the characters. Characters, and I will show you characters and numbers and some special characters. Some special characters. Special characters. So what are the characters it will allow? You can take A to Z. Allowed characters you can take A to Z, and all should be, you can take might be the lower case, or you can take the uppercase. A to Z you can take uppercase also. Next numbers 0 to 9. 0 to 9. And some special cases it allow dollar, and it allow underscore. Underscore, this is the underscore. Underscore. So it will allow in Java, it will allow these two special characters only. Instead of these two, if you are trying to use any other one, it will throw the compiler error. It allow only these two special characters. One is the dollar and the second one is the underscore. Whenever you are giving the naming conventions also, you have to follow the same like this. For example, if I take like this, variable name, variable name. So if I take the variable name like this, so this is the valid or not? This naming convention, this is the valid combination. And for example, if I take like a variable, if I mention like this is valid combination or not? This is also valid combination. And the next one is, if I take the variable name, variable, if I take some symbol, this is valid or not? This is also valid. This is also valid combination. For example, if I take underscore also, like variable underscore name. If I take like this is the valid or invalid. This is also valid combination. This is also valid combination. So rule number one, it allow the characters, numbers, some special characters. It allow only two special characters, that is the dollar and underscore. So instead of that, if you try to write any other special characters, it won't allow. It won't allow. Okay, that is rule number one. And we'll go with the rule number two. Rule number two. So the naming convention identifier cannot start with a digit. Identifier cannot start with a digit. Cannot start with a digit. Digit meaning already you know the numbers 0 to 9. Okay, so you cannot start with a digit. For example, if I write like this, like 1 2 variable name, this is a valid, this is invalid because any identifier name cannot start with the number. This is invalid. This is invalid. Okay, now if you observe here, if I write like this variable name some 3 like this, if I write like this is a valid. Identifier name should not start with the digit. Okay, you can write like this is the valid combination, but this is the invalid combination. This is the valid combination and this one is the invalid combination. This one is the invalid combination. Okay, and rule number 3. Rule number 3. So identifiers cannot use predefined words. Cannot use predefined words. So in Java you have the predefined words. So at the time of giving the naming convention, you should not use the predefined words. Like what are the predefined words are like for is the keyword and we have the identifiers, right? So where I would say data types like byte. These are the predefined keywords. Byte, short, int, int, and long. So like that, you should not use the predefined keywords. For example, I want to show the value. My data type is the byte, and no need to take again the byte as the variable name. This is already predefined at the time of giving the naming conventions for the identifiers. So don't use predefined words. Don't use predefined words. Okay, that is the rule number 3 actually. This is clear. Rule number 3 is clear. So how will you write the naming conventions here? You can take the byte as the data type and you can take any other name and 20 like this. This is the valid combination. This is the valid one. This is the valid, but this is the invalid combination. This one is invalid combination. This is the valid, but this is the valid and this one is the invalid combination. That is the invalid combination. So like that we have the many predefined words like that. Okay. So rule number 3, identifiers cannot use the predefined words. Okay. And next rule number 4. Rule number 4. So cannot allow the identifiers cannot allow the spaces. Cannot allow the spaces. Like at the time of giving the naming conventions also we are giving some spaces, right? Cannot allow the spaces. For example, phone bill. Phone bill. If you write like this, phone bill, for example, that is some 5,000, 5,000 like. If you write like this is the invalid combination. This is the invalid. Why? Because the spaces are not allowed. So instead of space, you should use underscore. For example, now I will write like this. Phone underscore bill. This is the valid combination. 5,000 or 6,000. This is the valid one. This is the valid combination. But spaces are not allowed. Spaces are not allowed. Okay. For example, search office. You can write like this. You can write like this. So this is valid combination. Okay. Identifiers cannot allow the spaces. Okay. Identifiers cannot allow the spaces. Instead of spaces, you should use the underscore. You should use the underscore. That is also one valid combination. And we can write like this also. This is also valid combination. Like underscore, you can take the in front, and the phone recharge. Like this also can. This is also valid combination. Okay, this is also valid combination. Okay, like this you can take, but this is the invalid combination. Why? Because it won't allow the spaces. Next, rule number 5. Rule number 5. Rule number 5 is in Java, in Java, every word is the case sensitive. Case sensitive. Case sensitive. Case sensitive meaning, for example, if I take the two words, if I take the F4, so this foo will be treated as the variable, and if I take the FOO, this foo will be treated as the class name. Okay. So each word has the different purpose actually. This is the it will be treated as the variable, and this will be treated as the class name. So that is the reason Java is the case sensitive. We have to follow the same namings. We have to, at the time of giving the namings, we have to follow the same namings. We have to follow the standards. We have to follow the standards. Okay, so that is the reason Java is the case sensitive. These are the rules you have to remember. What are the rules? First rule, it will allow the characters, numbers, some special characters. You can take all in lowercase from A to Z, that is valid combination. You can take all in uppercase, that is also valid combination. And the numbers allow the numbers 0 to 9. It allow the dollar symbol and it allow the underscore. Only two special characters only it will allow. Okay, these are the some combinations. These are the some combinations. Next, identifiers cannot start with the digit. Okay, if you try to write the identifier like this, then that is the invalid combination. That what is the invalid combination? Next, a variable name is like this. If you go like this, that is the valid combination. Okay, and rule number third one is identifiers cannot use the predefined words. And rule number 4 is identifiers cannot allow the spaces. And rule number 5 is in Java, every word is the case sensitive. Every word is the case sensitive. Okay. So now I will show you the document, the same thing. So can you please all of you read the first statement? Can you please read this one? All Java components require names, name used for classes, methods, interfaces, and variables are called identifiers. Next one, identifiers must follow the rules. Here are the rules. First rule number 1, allowed characters in Java identifiers. The characters are A to Z, all might be the in lowercase, and A to Z all might be, you should take uppercase, digits from 0 to 9, special characters dollar and underscore, dollar and underscore. Okay. Next one, these are the some combinations like name you can take like this, that is also valid. But If you take at the rate, that is invalid. Why? Because at the rate is the special character, not allowed in the Java. Okay, and you can take age hash. This is also invalid. Age you can take like this. This is valid. Okay, next step. Identifiers should not start with digit. So first letter should not be digit. So if you see here, if you write the name, if you give the naming conventions like this, that is the invalid combination. And if you go with, if you write like this, that is the valid combination. And the name 3, this is also valid, and this is also valid, this is also valid, and this is invalid. Why? Because at the rate is not allowed in Java. And if you write like this is also valid, and if you write like this is also valid, this is also valid. Okay, next thing is, next third rule. What is the third rule? Identifiers, Java reservoirs cannot be used as identifiers. Okay, so if you see here, int is the one predefined keyword, byte is also one predefined keyword. So don't use predefined keywords as the identifier. So invalid because byte is the reserved word. Okay, if you see here, byte for invalid because for is the reserved word. If you take int try is the reserved word. Try is the reserved word. Now if you see here, long phone number, this is the value. That is the rule number 3. And rule number 4, spaces are not allowed. If you write like this, that is the invalid combination into mobile bill. So you want to write like this. In the real-time scenarios, you should be maintain the naming conventions like this only. You should maintain the naming conventions like this only. Mobile underscore bill. You should maintain the naming conventions like this only. Okay. Mobile underscore bill. And rule 5. Identifiers in Java are case sensitive. This will be treated as the one. These are the two words, foo and foo. And here they are taking all are in lowercase. Here they are taking first character in uppercase. This is having the different meaning, and this one has different meaning. Okay, so that is the reason Java is the case sensitive. At the time of giving the game naming conventions, have to follow the rules. Next topic is Java keywords. So generally JDK people, they provided to us some predefined keywords. Predefined keywords meaning already they has their own functionality. We are using that predefined words in our programs. So through that we can develop the programs very easy actually. Okay. So these are the predefined keywords. Total reservoirs we have the 53. 53. Okay. And reservoirs again it is categorized into two. One is the keywords and the second one is the reservable literals. Again keywords again it is divided into two groups. One is the user keywords, second one is the unused keywords. Okay, user keywords meaning we are using, we will use regularly. Unused keywords meaning go to and constant. Why they people they are not using go to and constant meaning? So if they are trying to use these two words, so they are facing lot of issues actually. That is the reason. That is the reason. So cause of they're not using these two words, go to and constant. So we will use regularly 48 keywords, predefined keywords. Okay, so again they are categorized into like this: data types, control statements, modifiers, and exception handling, class related keywords, object related keywords, and these are the different topics actually. So already we done with the data types, right? Yesterday session we done with the data types. So in the data types, byte is the keyword, short is the keyword, char is the keyword, int is the keyword, log is the keyword, float is the keyword, double is the keyword, boolean is the keyword. These all are the keywords actually. Data types, keywords. And we have the control statement. That is the coming topic. Control statements. In the control statements, what are the keywords we have? If, else, do, while, for, switch, case, default, break, continue, return. These are the predefined keywords in concept of flow control statements. Next we have the modifiers concept. In the modifiers concept, the keywords have public, private, protected, static, final, abstract, synchronized, okay, strict FP, native, transient, volatile. These are the keywords in modifiers level. We have the topic that is the exception handling. In the exception handling, we have the keywords are like try, catch, finally, through, throws, and etc. Okay, next class related keywords are like package, import, class, interface, extends, implements, and object related keywords. Super, these new instance of these are the keywords of object level keywords. These are the object level keywords, and these are the some special keywords like void, enum, true, false, null. So these are the keywords we will use regularly. Are you guys clear with my point? So can you please observe 1 minute on this? Can you please all of you read this all the keywords 1 minute? Data types, flow control keywords, modifiers, exception handling, class related keywords, object related keywords. So we have to remember the table also. Okay, we have to remember the table. We have to by heart the table. Okay, this is clear. Okay, after that we have the topic that is the Java coding or naming conventions. Very very important topic. So generally, whoever is coming from completely non-IT or so at the time of giving the naming conventions for the class names, variable names, method names, so they are confusing at the time of giving the naming conventions. So this is the topic. So through that you can get the clarity how to give the naming conventions for the class names, variable names, and method names. Okay. So if you read, we'll go with the one by one. So Java language follows some standards or conventions for predefined packages, classes, and methods. So Java language follows some standards. Okay, we have to write the like that only. So whenever you are giving the naming conventions for the classes, variables, we have to follow the standards. Okay. Java language suggested Java programmers also to follow the same standards or conventions. Next up, following these standards or conventions is not mandatory but highly recommended. I will tell you, we'll go with the one by one. So first we'll go with the class name. Okay. The title name is coding conventions, or you can mention with naming conventions, or you can say naming standards. Naming standards. Okay, so first we'll go with the class. So class meaning whenever you are taking the class, how will you give the class names? So the first point is class name can contain any number of words. Class name can contain class name can contain any number of words. That is the first point. Any number of words. That is the first point. And the second point. So the class name recommended to write all words first character should be in the if the class name can contain if the class name contain number of words class name contain number of words all words first character, all words first character should be in the uppercase. First character should be in the uppercase. Should be in the uppercase. This is the recommended approach. For example, I will tell you public start like a demo telephone. So we have to write like this. Demo is the one word and tele is the one word, phone is the one word. So if the class name can contain number of words, all words first character should be in the uppercase. All words first character should be in the uppercase. So the naming convention should be, you need to take like this. You should take like this. This is the syntax. This one is the syntax. This one is the syntax. Are you guys clear with my points? Public class demo telephone. If the class name can contain number of words, every word first character should be in the uppercase. That is the recommended approach. That is the recommended approach. For example, some guys might be asked like this also. So for example, should I write like this? So if I take the class name like this, so should my file compile like that also? They will ask. Your file will compile if you take the naming conventions like this. Your file will compile and your file will execute. But you have to follow the naming conventions according to the standards. So as per standards, this is not recommended. This is the not recommended naming convention. This is the recommended naming convention. You have to follow the standards while giving the naming conventions. Okay. Public class demo. This is the recommended approach. Okay. If it contain number of words, all characters first character in the uppercase. This is the recommended approach. Okay. This is the recommended approach. Okay. Next one will go with the variables. How will you give the naming conventions for the variables? So the first word is common, can contain any number of words without spaces. Without spaces. Okay, here also variable names can contain number of words without spaces. Variable names can contain number of words without spaces. Variable name can contain number of words without spaces. That is the first point. If the variable name contain more than one word, after more than one word. So first word starts with all characters in lowercase, and second word onwards, first character should be in the first character should be in uppercase. First character should be in uppercase. So the syntax I will tell you. So already you know public class, the class name is the demo, and from here to here this is the scope of the class. And here if you want to take the variable name, so for example mobile bill we will take, so int mobile bill, like this we have to take. I guess clear my point. If the class name can contain number of words, if the variable name can contain number of words, so first word all characters should be in the lowercase. From second word onwards, every word first character should be in the uppercase. Every word first character should be in the uppercase. So that one I will show you here. If you see this one, variable name can have number of words without spaces. If variable name contains multiple words, then recommended to write first word all characters in lowercase. From second word onwards, every word first character in uppercase. From second word onwards, every word should be in the uppercase. And we have the naming conventions for the interface also. Interface. So the first point is common. Interface can contain number of words. Interface can contain number of words. Okay, number of words without spaces. That point is common. Next point is the same point here also. If the interface contain number of words, all characters, all words, first character should be in uppercase. First character should be in uppercase. For example, I will take only declared with the interface and demo test like this, and from here to here, this is the scope of the interface. Only the thing is, only the difference here, you can class you can declare with the class keyword. Here interface you can declare with the interface. So remaining naming conventions are same. However, the standards we are following in case of class, the same rules you can follow in case of interface also. The same rules you can follow in case of interface also. Public interface is the keyword. Here we are defining interface by using the interface keyword. Okay. And variable name is also okay, fine. Next we have the methods name conventions. So the first point is common. The method name can contain number of words without spaces, and if the method name can contain number of words recommended to write first word all characters should be in the lowercase. First word all character in lowercase, and second word onwards all character second word onwards first character should be in uppercase. Should be in the uppercase. Okay, so I will tell you public, class and demo, and from here to here this is the scope of the class. Now if you want to take the method name public void main charge, if you want to take the main charge, so you have to take the naming conventions like this. So the first word all characters in lowercase, and second word onwards first character in the uppercase. So here one important note is, if you observe the naming conventions for the variable and standard, the naming conventions are same. Only the difference is parenthesis. If you declare the parenthesis with that name, then you can say that is the method. And if it is not parenthesis, then you can say that is the variable. That is the note point. If you come here, note point, you can see here variable and method naming conventions are the same, but methods will have the parenthesis and variables will not have the parenthesis. Okay, variables and method naming conventions are the same. Methods will have the parenthesis, variable names will have the parenthesis. Next up, naming conventions for the constants. Constants meaning fixed values. Constant values meaning fixed values. Fixed values meaning the value will not be changed. by the any developer. If you define any value with constant, that value we cannot change. That value is the fixed. Okay. And the second point is recommended to write constant variable all characters in uppercase. All characters in uppercase. Okay. So the naming conventions should be like this. So generally, we are discussing about the constants. Constant meaning fixed values. Fixed values. We cannot change the values. We cannot change the values. Fixed values. We cannot change the values. Okay. And recommended to write all characters in uppercase. All characters in uppercase. For example, if I take some like this enter some mobile bill, if I write like this, then this is the constant value 5500 like this. This is the constant value. So the constant values you should write all characters in the uppercase. So through that you can easily identify. Next point is if constant variable contains multiple words, recommended to use underscore with all uppercase characters. Recommended to use uppercase. Okay, that is the naming conventions for the constants. Next we have the naming conventions for the packages. So package name can have any number of words, any number of characters and any number of words, and recommended to use lowercase letter in the package names. And if the package name contains number of words, you should use the dot. Okay. So I will write the same thing here. So naming convention for the packages. So the first thing is package can contain or can have anything you can take, can have any number of words, and the second point is so package name can take all characters in lowercase. Okay. If the package name have number of words, we can use dot operator. Dot operator. So for example, these are the examples like java.io and java.lang. So these are the examples actually. These are the okay. These are the examples. This is clear, guys. So you have to note down these all the points and then make sure you have to keep in your brain these all the points. 6 points, total 6 points. How to give the naming conventions for the class and how to give the naming conventions for the interfaces and how to give the naming conventions for the variables and how to give the naming conventions for the methods and how to give the naming conventions for the packages and how to give the naming conventions for the constants. Okay, so these are the standards you have to follow while giving the naming conventions, so don't confuse. Okay, now after that we have the topic that is the Java comments. So what is the purpose of Java comments generally? Which will give extra information about the code. Extra information about the code. Okay, where in Java we have three types of commands. In Java we have three types of commands. Three types of commands. So first one is single line command, and the second one is multi-line command, multi-line command, and third one is document command. Document command. These are the three commands you have in Java. Okay? And here one more point also. Whatever the code you have commented, that code will not participate in commented code. Commented code will not will not participate in code compilation and code execution. Compilation and code execution. These are the things. Okay? So simply, if you want to comment the single line, then you can mention this is the symbol. You can comment the single line. If you want to comment the multiple line, then you can mention like this. You have to mention like this. So this is the documentation command. So this is the commented code, multi-line comments, and this is the documents comments. So in the document comments, you can do the comments like this: forward slash, and you can mention with like this, like this. Okay. Are you guys clear with my points? So how to follow the naming conventions. Java comment meaning which will give extra information about the code, and whatever the code you have commented, the code will not be participate in the compilation and code execution. In Java, we have three types of commands: single line command, multi-line command, and documentation commands. Okay, so that's it today. If you have any questions, you can ask. So if not, we'll continue in the next session. So tomorrow and day after tomorrow we don't have classes. Next classes will be on Monday. Next classes will be on Monday. Okay, whatever the classes you have completed so far, so you can practice those classes. Okay, you have to revise every time. Every day you have to revise those classes. So stopping the live. You guys have any questions?